Welcome back to Bay Area Focus. Please welcome Brandi with Ashkenaz.
Thank
you.
So
tell us about your organization.
Ashkenaz is a music and dance community center. It's one of those places where in a single weekend you could see Ghanaian music, klezmer music, Moroccan music, and attend a square dance if you'd like to spend the entire weekend at Ashkenaz, which you could. It's been around since 1973. It's one of the first organizations in the nation to actually present what we now understand as world music.
Sure.
And we're in a hot spot for it. You know, we have world-class musicians from all over the world in the Bay Area, and we get a chance to present them at our venue, and everyone can dance.
And you want everyone to learn what about world music?
What we really want to do is put what music and dance have the opportunity to do is put a human face on humans, you know, in an era where we're increasingly shuffled off into demographics and statistics and polarizing into our camps. You know, you really, when you come to Ashkenaz, you can hear something that you haven't heard before. You can feel the culture and feel the vibe of a completely different culture, or one that you're familiar with, and most of all, you can participate. We have one of the best dance floors in the Bay Area. When you're dancing to Ghanaian music at Ashkenaz, you're interacting with all kinds of people in a really intimate way. It's a smallish venue, about 200-300 people on the dance floor, and you feel like you're invited to a family party or a wedding reception. You feel like you're part of a celebration that you know you get a real intimate and personal experience with different cultures.
So we want to see that vibe. We want to feel what it's like. Let's take a look at this clip, and then we'll talk about it when we come back. Looks very lively to me.
It's very lively. It's a great place to be.
So tell us a little bit about the audience. How many times you put on events to kind of get people interested in world music?
We put on events every night of the week except Monday, and then twice on Sundays. On Sunday early afternoons, we often have programming for the little ones. It's kind of ideal, really. If you're a parent in the Bay Area, you get a chance to send your little ones off to dance on the dance floor and play with balloons while you get to sit back and have a nice glass of wine at the cafe. It's pretty much best case parenting scenario for a Sunday afternoon.
Sure. No, that sounds great. I have a 2.5-year-old kid. If they can be entertained for an hour, even a minute, that's great.
Yeah, it's kind of the best.
Switching gears a little bit, tell us a little bit about how this organization was founded. Something happened to the person who came up with this idea.
It was founded by social activist David Nadel, who his life was transformed by folk dance. He was doing Israeli folk dance and Balkan folk dance, and he just realized how much of an opportunity it was to connect with other cultures on a visceral level, and wanted to provide that opportunity to everybody. So he ended up actually renting a tiny space, a tiny corner in what is now Ashkenaz, ultimately ended up rallying the community and buying the building, and as I was saying earlier, turned it into one of the first places to feature music from all around the world. He was, tragically, he was killed in 1996. He was ejecting a patron, a drunk patron who was harassing people. He ejected him from the building. The patron came back and killed him on sight and shot him. The silver lining of the tragedy is that the community, Ashkenaz is such a beloved institution. The community rallied together, formed a nonprofit, raised the funds to actually buy Ashkenaz, and now it's, as a nonprofit, as a 501c3, is owned by the people, which has always been a people's venue in spirit, and now it's actually literally a people's venue as a nonprofit institution.
And I think we saw some of that magic in the clip. So what's next for this group?
Well, we're really reinvigorating the cultural programming. One thing that I'd like to do in this next era for Ashkenaz is really tap the amazing area that we live really start to put more of a human face and bring in the human connection with this incredibly diverse community that we have. We have phenomenal musicians in this area. We have legendary musicians like Baba Ken, Ukelolo. We have new up-and-coming musicians like Piwai, a young African woman who is just doing amazing work, playing traditional Zimbabwean music and fusing it with modern jazz and funk. Just amazing stuff happening in the Bay Area, and we'd like to really reinvigorate our programming with those things.
All right, Brandi, thank you so much for joining us here this morning. For more information about Ashkenaz, you could log on to ashkenaz.com. We'll be right back after this.